Okay, so who's holding their phone like this?
No, this is how you do it.
There you go. Stop it. It goes sideways. Don't put your phone in portrait view. I get it. Oh yeah, TikTok. No, don't use TikTok. First of all, TikTok is quite possibly how Jeff Bezos got his phone hacked. You know, Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon, richest man on earth. Well, again, now the second richest man on earth. Right? This Prince Khashoggi of Saudi Arabia sent him a TikTok that had a file in it that allowed them to hack his phone. TikTok is really that bad. It's just awful. Don't use it. Do not use TikTok. Because it can be used as spyware.
But you said what? It can what?
It can be used as spyware. They're literally collecting your data.
What about Twitter?
Better. But the problem is that all these things are still very much designed to try and get your personal data and see what files you have on your phone and get into your contacts, and then they use that to target you with ads. But obviously, they're also being used to do some industrial espionage. That's kind of crazy. You have private data. You need to keep it private. So the first step on the good phone usage list, do that, right? Because even if you're watching, like, if you're looking like Instagram or YouTube or Vimeo or even World Star Hip Hop, like any of the things out there, you're usually holding your phone like this, and it'll just take up the top part of the screen, and then there'll be like the comments and stuff underneath it. So you don't want to hold it like that. You want it to be this way anyway. You want to record it this way. That's the first thing. First thing, landscape mode. Landscape. Just to record this because you're going to put it on the internet. It's your first project. You're going to get project 1 done. Okay. So, now one of the other problems is if you do actually watch anything on YouTube, my kids and I love YouTube. We watch it all the time. Of course, I teach a class on this kind of thing. Another thing that you have a problem with is that, well, this happens, right? You hold your phone one-handed recording. We are dynamic beings. We are metal skeletons surrounded with bags of water. Those bags are made out of carbon. It's literally what you were made out of. You cannot stop this. And then, of course, you're all exercise science majors. So if I make you sit for more than about 5-10 minutes, you all start doing this in your chairs because you can't stop sitting. You gotta move, you gotta move. You're not computer science students who can just sit there like a bus driver. Can't do that. You got that wiggles. So you gotta cure those wiggles. When you're holding your phone, of course, hold with 2 hands, because frankly, how much did this cost? I bought this outright. $1,000. $1,000. I paid it up front so I wouldn't have to pay it on my plan every day or every month, whatever. Right? Comes out about $200 less if you pay it up front. I had the money, so I can make it happen, you know. 2 hands, elbows in. Right? Elbows in. I'm holding on to it. I got a good grip on it. And because I got my elbows in, really kind of using my core here, I'm not bouncy. I'm not bouncy, 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 bouncy. Right? So that's number 2. Elbows in. 2 hands. Elbows in. And that's kind of true for when you're using our video recorders too. When I get the camcorder cart out here, and we're using camcorders, well, you gotta have 2 hands on it. You got 1 hand in the strap, you got the other hand kind of holding the visor. Gives you much more control. Bring those elbows in so you're not so bouncy. Okay, the next part, you're all pretty good with this. You don't wanna like do that, because again, it's that bouncy thing. You wanna have this in, so you gotta turn with your core, right? You turn with your core. Look how different that is. When you're recording right now, if you turn like this, and you turn like this, notice how much more smooth this is. Oh yeah, that's what you want. Keep that nice and smooth. Okay. So core, turn with core. engage these muscles, engage these muscles. Large, long strand muscles, nice and smooth motions. Next, you might have this on yours. I'm not sure. I know I have it on mine. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I've got the grid lines up. If you can turn those on your phone, it's a good idea to do so. Same thing with the camcorders. They all have a grid line function. I want you to play the camcorders. You can't break them. They're very simple set technology. It's not like you're going to break it. But the important part of the grid lines is that it lets you know where the center 75% of the screen is. If you look at your camera here, you might be able to see it, depending on which camera you have. You might be able to tell that it's a rounded lens. They all are. All cameras have a rounded lens on them. It's so that they can collect as much light as possible. The problem with that is that the edges of the screen will become fisheye. They're bowed. The software in your phone corrects for that somewhat. It's not the best. It's really hard to do. Our computers are all kind of crap anyway. If you took me for 111, you know already. Our computers are crap. So you want that center 75%. Whatever the action's happening in front of you, you want to keep that in that nice center grid lines in there, right? And do know that it's a fisheye lens, so things that are closer get real big real quick, and things that are farther get real small real quick. That's 75%. That's called the safe zone. The safe center, 75%. Okay. Keep in center 75%. And the fifth thing, this is with if you have a handheld device, all right? Professionally, and our third project, we're gonna use tripods. So we'll get to have nice, smooth footage and all that kind of stuff. But if you're following some action, you've got your phone, we're doing the bug hunt challenge in the next project, you gotta shoot a thing off a cone or whatever, you're gonna stand there, you have to do multiple takes. It's useful to stay in a bit of a horse stance, all right? If you've got to be upright, if you can't have something to set the phone on, bend your knees a little bit, shoulder width apart. Your feet should be. You're gonna talk like I do, right? That little horse stance, that kind of yoga pose. This gives you control. Again, it's the long muscles we're using. If you lock your knees, you shake. Just what we do. Again, we're middle skeletons of bags of water. We're wiggly. Me especially so. So, you want to put that horse stance on there. You want to turn with your core. If you can. Get up against the wall, or even better, an orphan. Do that right now. Like, seriously, do it the fuck right now. Cut out the swearing. I'm not supposed to swear. So, if you've got a doorway, if you've got a wall, you'll be able to make a tripod out of yourself. Right? Shoulder into it. Foot at the base. Other foot out. Right? I am taking myself out of the equation here. If I need a pan, I can rotate on that shoulder. See? Keeps your footage nice and smooth. If I have to be against a wall, I'm not going to have both feet out. I'm going to have one foot back, one foot forward. Put my back into it. Right? Again, if I have to rotate, I can do that. Keeps it nice and smooth. I can pan across. It's not all bouncy. Right? If I have a desk, or a half wall, or a chair, or something of that sort of thing. Again, I'm making a tripod out of myself. Try this out. Put your chest, this area here, could be your breastplate, could be lower, into the edge of the desk. Hold it like that. All right, I'm letting this put all my weight, wiggles into the desk. And I'm just having my arms holding it. Again, I'm 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact. Triangle is the strongest natural shape, the strongest, simplest natural shape in nature.